let's dive deep into this DeepSeek thing. This Chinese AI company kind of came out of nowhere, seriously shook up the tech world. We're going to break down exactly what they're doing, why even a giant like NVIDIA should be sweating, and what it all means for the future of AI. Buckle up, because we're going to uncover some seriously mind-blowing stuff about DeepSeek, like cost efficiency that seems almost impossible, their whole open source thing, and how they stack up against those AI heavyweights we all know, like, ChatGPT.
It really is amazing how fast DeepSeek has become a major player. I mean, founded just last year, 2023, by Liang Wenfeng. And get this, he came from a hedge fund background. His company was Highflyer. And now DeepSeek is developing open source large language models, LLMs. Their goal is to make this super powerful AI accessible to, like, everyone. Totally different from what the big players are doing.
Yeah, it's that classic underdog story. Everyone loves those. And then, boom, January 27th, 2025 hits. DeepSeek's app. It becomes the #1 most downloaded free app on Apple's App Store in the US. And what happens next? NVIDIA's stock takes a 17% nosedive. You don't see that every day. So what did the market see that day? What spooked them so bad?
Well, the market saw that day that all the old assumptions about AI development, those were out the window. The idea that you had to have billions, just billions of dollars to create cutting-edge AI. DeepSeek just straight up proved that wrong. They showed you can be competitive with way, way fewer resources.
So how are they doing it? What's the secret sauce that's making DeepSeek so efficient?
It's a combo of some really innovative techniques. One of them is this thing called Mixture of Experts Architecture, MOE. So imagine instead of using all the model's parameters for every single input, MOE activates just the parts that are most relevant, kind of like having, specialized teams of experts ready to go for specific problems.
Yeah.
Way better than one giant team trying to handle everything.
So they're basically streamlining the process, huh? Making sure the right brain power is used for the right task. I like it. Okay, so what else? What other tricks do they have up their sleeve?
Okay, so there's also multi-token prediction, MTP. This lets the model predict multiple tokens, pieces of words, basically all at once. Instead of one by one, it's like reading a whole phrase, getting the meaning all at once, instead of decoding each individual word. This seriously speeds up the process.
Okay, got it. So they're finding these clever ways to speed up processing, make it all more efficient. Is that what training without tensor parallelism is about too?
Bingo. Tensor parallelism is usually used to spread out AI training across a bunch of GPUs. But it can make things less efficient. DeepSeek figured out how to train effectively without relying on it so much, which again, reduces what they need computationally and of course cuts down on the cost too.
It always comes back to cost in the end, doesn't it? And
Yeah.
speaking of cost, early reports said DeepSeek V3 was developed for just $6 million. That's crazy. Some Hollywood movies cost more than that.
Yeah, that number really got people talking, and for good reason. But it's important to remember that $6 million is probably just the final training cost. It's not the whole development budget. But even with all the other expenses like research, infrastructure, and all that, DeepSeek's total cost is probably still way less than their competitors.
Right, and that shows in their pricing. DeepSeek's API, it's way cheaper than options like OpenAI's, for developers and businesses. This could be a complete game changer. Imagine having access to powerful AI tools for a fraction of the price.
No doubt.
It opens up so many doors. For smaller companies, startups, even individuals, people who couldn't even dream of using these tools before because of the cost. And DeepSeek being committed to open source methods, that just makes it even more accessible.
Definitely.
Okay, so let's talk about this open source thing. DeepSeek is basically letting anyone use, modify, even distribute their models. That's wild. It's totally different from what we see with companies like Google or OpenAI and their proprietary models.
Right.
So what's the good, the bad, the ugly of this?
Well, this open source approach, it could be super transformative. I mean, it encourages collaboration. The whole AI community can contribute to DeepSeek's development. You can see some rapid innovation. Totally new applications could pop up that we haven't even thought of. But open source AI, it comes with its own set of risks.
Okay, lay it on me. What kind of risks are we talking about?
Well, the big one is misuse. The wrong people get their hands on these open source models. They could use them to create harmful applications, spread fake news, maybe even develop autonomous weapons. It's a double-edged sword, that's for sure.
Right, like giving everyone the keys to a super powerful engine could be used to build amazing things. Or some really dangerous ones.
Yeah.
Easy think, right? Would you trust open source AI? It's something to consider. So let's get down to brass tacks here. How does DeepSeek actually perform compared to the big guys, like ChatGPT, for example? If we put them head to head, who wins?
Well, it's not really about who's better or worse. Each AI has its own strengths and weaknesses. It depends on the task. DeepSeek is really good with logic-heavy tasks, coding, technical challenges. Developers love it, and anyone who needs a cost-effective solution, obviously. ChatGPT, though, it's better for conversational AI, creative writing, generating text that sounds like a real person wrote it.
So it's not a boxing match, more like a decathlon.
Mm.
Each AI excels in different events. And we gotta throw Perplexity in the mix, too. That one's known for its research abilities, pulling info from the web. And then there's Chatsonic, focused on content creation and marketing. It's like a buffet of AI options, each with its own flavor.
I like that analogy.
The key is picking the right AI for the job, right?
Exactly. No one-size-fits-all in the AI world.
Yeah. So what about you, listening right now? Which of these AI tools would you find most useful? What problems would you want to solve? What would you create? Let us know. Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about how DeepSeek could impact global capability centers, GCCs in India. These are major players in the global tech world, especially for cost-effective development. Could DeepSeek disrupt this whole system?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Some experts think DeepSeek could be huge for GCCs. Cost-effectiveness, open-source nature, tons of potential for innovation. It could even bring in new investments for AI development. Others are playing it safe, waiting to see what happens with DeepSeek before they commit.
So GCCs are at a crossroads. Do they embrace DeepSeek and all its potential, or do they stick with what they know? Could DeepSeek actually tip the scales in the global AI world? It's a fascinating question.
It is. DeepSeek has already shaken things up, challenged a lot of assumptions. But it's early days. The DeepSeek story is just getting started. Buckle up, folks, because we're going even deeper into this story after the break.
All right, welcome back to our deep dive into DeepSeek. Before the break, we were talking about how DeepSeek could impact India's global capability centers. Those GCCs, they're really powerhouses in the tech world. It's a complicated situation with lots of moving parts.
Yeah, for sure. And it goes way beyond just GCCs. DeepSeek coming onto the scene brings up some big questions about the future of AI development, especially with the whole US-China AI competition thing. It's not just about tech anymore. It's geopolitical, too.
Yeah, sounds like we're entering a whole new era in AI. All the old power dynamics are getting shaken up. So what does this mean for the US? They've been the leader in AI innovation for so long.
I think DeepSeek's success is a wake-up call, honestly. It shows that China is a real contender in AI now. They can develop cutting-edge tech that can compete globally. The U.S. needs to step up their game, rethink their strategies if they want to stay on top.
It's not just about like who has the best tech anymore. It's about economic power, national security. Makes things a lot more complicated.
Absolutely. AI is becoming a major factor in international relations, and DeepSeek's rise is proof of that.
Okay, but let's zoom out for a second and think about you, the listener. Why should you care about all this, even if you're not a developer or into geopolitics?
Because AI isn't some far-off thing anymore. It's already part of our everyday lives. The personalized recommendations you see online, the algorithms deciding your credit score. DeepSeek is a perfect example of how fast AI is changing things and how it's touching every part of society.
So yeah, whether you're a techie, a business person, or just someone who uses technology, you gotta understand what's happening in AI. The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Right. It's about knowing the potential benefits and the risks. We all need a seat at the table as we figure out the future of AI. We got to make sure its development aligns with our values.
Totally agree. Okay, so let's move on to another part of the DeepSeek story. How they could totally disrupt industries, change how businesses work. We talked about GCCs, but it goes way beyond that. It's like DeepSeek threw a stone in a pond, and the ripples are spreading everywhere, affecting businesses of all sizes and all kinds of sectors. Where do you see the biggest impact?
Software development. That's one area that's ripe for disruption. DeepSeek's models can already write code, so you could potentially automate huge parts of software development. Imagine building complex applications with almost no human input. Faster development, lower costs. They could be revolutionary.
That's a game changer for the tech industry, for sure. But what about other industries, like healthcare or finance? Could DeepSeek shake things up there, too?
Definitely. In healthcare, their AI could be used to look at medical images, help with diagnoses, even create personalized treatment plans. Think about it. Better patient outcomes, more affordable healthcare. And in finance, DeepSeek's AI could help with fraud detection, risk assessment, algorithmic trading. It could make financial systems more efficient and secure.
Sounds like the possibilities are endless. But with AI advancing so quickly, people are worried about jobs, Are robots going to take over?
It's a valid concern. You can't ignore it. AI will automate some tasks, no doubt, But it'll also create new jobs, new opportunities. We need to focus on training people, giving them the skills they need to succeed in this AI-driven world.
So it's not about being scared of AI, it's about adapting, figuring out how to use it to make us better, finding that balance between automation and, human creativity.
Exactly. In the future, humans and machines will probably work together, each doing what they're best at.
I like that. A lot more optimistic than what you see in sci-fi movies. Okay, but before we get too lost in the future, let's bring it back to the present. DeepSeek is growing fast. What challenges are they facing right now?
Well, scaling up is a big one. They got to make sure their infrastructure can handle all those users, all the computing power their AI models need. And then there's the whole regulatory landscape for AI. It's different everywhere. They need to figure that out too.
It's not just about building cool tech. It's about the nuts and bolts of running a business in a world that's changing really, really fast.
And don't forget the competition. DeepSeek's got some big rivals. Google, Microsoft, they got to find ways to stand out, attract the best talent if they want to stay ahead.
Sounds like they've got a lot on their plate, but hey, they've come this far. I wouldn't underestimate them. So here's a question for you, listener. Given everything we've talked about, the tech, the impact, the challenges, what do you think will happen to DeepSeek?
Will they become a global giant like Google or Amazon? Or will they hit some roadblocks?
We'll dive into those questions and more in the final part of our DeepSeek deep dive. Stick around. And we're back for the final part of our deep dive into DeepSeek. It's been quite a journey, right? Exploring this company that's turning the AI world upside down. We've seen their tech, how it's impacting the market. We even talked about the geopolitical stuff. But now let's step back for a minute. Look at the big picture. What does DeepSeek's story tell us about the future of AI?
I think DeepSeek's emergence. It really shows us there's been a major shift in the AI landscape. The barriers to entry, they're not what they used to be. Developing advanced AI, it's not just for the tech giants anymore. You don't need billions and billions of dollars. DeepSeek proved that. With the right approach, even a smaller company can shake things up.
Yeah, it's like they found a new way to create powerful AI that's more efficient, less expensive. So does this mean we're going to see tons of new AI companies popping up?
It's definitely possible. DeepSeek could inspire a whole new wave of AI startups. More innovation, a more competitive landscape, new applications, breakthroughs happening faster.
AI for everyone, not just controlled by a few powerful companies. That's a pretty exciting thought. But what about the risks? If AI becomes more accessible, couldn't it be misused?
Yeah, that's the other side of the coin. Wider access to AI, it comes with new challenges. AI is getting more powerful, easier to get a hold of. We have to think about how to prevent misuse, the spread of misinformation, autonomous weapons, algorithms making decisions that impact people's lives, things we might not even be thinking about yet.
It's uncharted territory for sure. The line between opportunity and risk, it gets blurry. So how do we make sure AI is used responsibly, especially as things move so fast?
Transparency and collaboration are crucial. DeepSeek being open source, that's a good start. People can see how the technology works, identify potential problems, work together to fix them. We also need to be talking about AI ethics, not just tech people, but policymakers, ethicists, everyone.
So navigating the future of AI, it's about tech innovation, ethical considerations, and a global effort to make sure AI benefits humanity.
Exactly. DeepSeek's story shows us we have to think bigger than just the tech itself. What are the implications, the potential benefits, the risks? We need to work together to steer AI in the right direction.
And that brings us back to you, listening right now. We've covered a lot of ground with DeepSeek, their tech, their impact, the challenges. But the future of AI, it's not set in stone, it's something we create together.
So keep asking questions, stay informed, be part of the conversation. It's how we shape this powerful technology.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into DeepSeek. We hope you found it insightful, thought-provoking, maybe even a little mind-blowing. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.